win from Williamsport. It's the Mountain Region Championship game here in San Bernardino, California. Utah and Nevada battle for one spot and a ticket to the Little League World Series here at Al Houghton Stadium. Eric Rothman, Kyle Peterson here with you, and we've got a dandy as these two teams played in the semifinal game with Nevada winning 6-3. Utah an epic win yesterday against Montana 2-1. And we have already gotten underway. These two teams, Kyle, were so excited to get started, they didn't even want to wait until we finished our open as Chaz Hickman leads things off with a lead-off double.
Yeah, they know what they're playing for. They got a little jumpy. Boys are ready to go here. First pitch, and they're facing Nolan Gifford, who struck out 16 his last time out. A little flare to left field. This is kind of one of those where I think either one could have caught it, but instead it's off the glove of Logan Levasseur, the third baseman, falls down. Chaz standing on second base to start this one. Good start for Utah.
It'll be ruled an error on the third baseman, Levasseur. And so it's Nolan Gifford on the mound for Nevada, and as Kyle just mentioned, 16 strikeouts in the win against Montana in round number 1. We haven't seen him pitch since then, but that's how Nevada and Nolan's dad, Ryan, their head coach, wanted to set things up. If we can get a good outing out of him in game 1, hopefully have him well rested for the championship game as Damian Richards skies one into foul territory. What's interesting, KP, about that 16 strikeout performance as we take a look at the Utah lineup, Hickman, Richards, and Avery lead things off for Santa Clara, Utah. In that 16 strikeout performance, Kyle, he hit the first batter of the game and then really didn't relinquish anything after that. And so kind of similarly here today, gives up the little bloop error to Chaz Hickman, and we'll see if he settles in after that.
Yeah, that game hit the first guy, like you said, gave up just one hit, didn't walk anybody, struck out 16. I think the one thing to watch in this, too, Jackson McMullen is the catcher. Gifford's going to throw mid-70s. They're 46 feet away. That's like a 102-mile-an-hour fastball in the big league. So there is not a lot of time to react back behind home plate.
McMullen behind the dish, the 1-2 count, check swing, run around, says home plate umpire Rick Ellman. First strikeout of the game for Gifford, and there's one away.
In that game where he struck out, go ahead, bud.
No, I was going to say defensively, KP, for Nevada in the field, you got McMullen behind the plate, Levasseur at third, David Edwards at short, JoJo Carquet at second. At first base is Arlie Daniel as Dash Avery takes a strike. And in the outfield, it's Walther, Dixon, and Lester left to right. Avery takes a strike there. And it's tough. It's tough watching that fastball and deciding in a split second what you're going to do with the bat.
I think if you're Utah, based on what we saw the first time that Gifford was out there, he pretty much just throws fastballs. And you see why. There's not really a lot of reason to throw a whole lot more than that. 16 strikeouts in the opener against no walks. 2 straight strikeouts here after the error to start. And then the ball to the backstop. They're sitting outside. Pumped 3 straight fastballs in there right there. That last one by Dash Avery.
So now we have a battle of our two pitchers. Brogan Coop comes to the plate. He is the ace for Utah. He'll be starting on the mound today, but he's also Utah's best hitter as well, KP. We saw him hit a home run in the opening round game. He's got a big bat, and he could probably catch up to the speed of Gifford.
If he does, it'll go a long way.
One count from Gifford, this undefeated Nevada team from Henderson Little League in Henderson, Nevada. First time in their 36-year history as a Little League that they've had a state champion and a team here at regionals. And what a run it would be if they could continue it and head to Williamsport. The 1-2 to Coop. Swing and a miss, off-speed stuff. And Gifford is hyped. Nolan Gifford strikes out the side after the leadoff error lets Chaz Hickman reach 3 strikeouts, the 19th strikeout for Gifford in the tournament.
And he still hadn't walked anybody. So all fastballs in the inning up to this point. Then he comes back, throws a breaking ball right there. Leadoff error has Chaz Hickman at second. Advances to third on the ball to the backstop. Then punch out, punch out, punch out. It's a scoreless first.
We welcome in our ESPN audience here to San Bernardino, California. We go to the bottom of the first inning in our Mountain Region Championship game between Utah and Nevada. Two teams ready to go at it for one spot in a trip to the Little League World Series in Williamsport. How's it going, everybody? I'm Eric Rothman. It's Kyle Peterson alongside with me. And KP, we knew that going into this game, it was going to be a battle of the two aces, Nolan Gifford for Nevada and Brogan Coop for Utah. We haven't seen Coop on the mound yet because Utah just was up to bat, but Nolan Gifford, 3 strikeouts in the top of the first inning.
Yeah, we saw Coop last night, too, and the only 2 guys he faced, he struck both out. That was the first time he's pitched in this tournament. Nolan Gifford had pitched in this tournament up to this point. His first start, he struck out 16, didn't walk anybody. In the first inning, first guy reaches, then he went to work. Fastball, 2 straight strikeouts, and then the first breaking ball and only breaking ball of the inning right here to strike out Brogan Coop, who we'll see on the mound next. So, yeah, we got 2 power right-handers on the mound. 2 12-year-olds that can run it up past 70 miles an hour.
And here is Coop. It was a thriller of a game yesterday in the elimination game between Utah and Montana. 2-1 final. Utah winning it to advance to our final game. But this was back on Sunday. Coop can do it with the bat as well. 2-run home run in the win against Wyoming in round number 1. And then he comes in the game against Montana. Sees it on the line. Runner at third, the tying run. He needs to get 2 outs. 2 strikeouts, KP.
Yeah, punch out. Brogan Coop, one of those Little League kids that can just do it all. Plays a little bit of shortstop, hits home runs, comes in, strikes out everybody that he sees, which he did last night. Big Drew Brees fan, and the kid's a pretty good football player, too. Utah has a good situation, too. We're talking about Nolan Gifford, who just threw in the opener. Coop is the guy they wanted to throw in this game, and they had saved him basically the entire tournament. He's faced just 2 hitters up to this point, so he should be really fresh.
So it'll be Coop on the mound. The Henderson, Nevada fans out in full force. As we look at the Nevada starting lineup, Cruz Lester, David Edwards, and Nolan Gifford will lead things off. This team from Henderson, Nevada, and their head coach, Ryan Gifford, who you just saw trot out of your screen. Henderson Little League has never had a state champion in its 36-year history until this year. And what a story it would be if they could continue and win today and move on to Williamsport. So it'll be Cruz Lester dealing with Brogan Coop on the mound for Utah. Kind of the exact opposite for the Utah group, KP. This is a Snow Canyon Little League All-Star team that won this Mountain Regional last year and made it to Williamsport. There are 5 returning players from that 2022 team, including Brogan Coop.
So you got these kids from Utah, many of which have been there before. In the state of Nevada, that's only been to Williamsport 1 time. That was in 2014. That year, they went all the way to the championship game.
Line drive and a diving catch. Is it a catch? Still no signal from third base umpire Len Gherkin. And now they're going to say Mac Gubler. We're still confused. Have we seen a signal? I guess it's out because Cruz Lester is trotting back to the dugout.
Yeah, I think he may want to take another look at this. I mean, it's a heck of a play to dive. So playing in on the grass, there's not a lot of time. So it's in the glove. Does it stay in the glove? I think that's the only question. He kind of looked like it was rolling around there for a minute, but no challenge, so it'll stand.
Well, so it looks like Utah gets away with one there. Gubler, great effort nonetheless. We have seen the defense for Utah perform some miracles this week that have really kept them in some of these games. You go back to the semifinal game between these two teams that Nevada won 6-3. Nevada stranded 10 base runners in that game, in large part due to the phenomenal defense of Utah. And so Mac Gubler getting it done at third base, and David Edwards up to the plate with nobody on, 1 out and an 0-2 count. That one misses low and away. Brogan Oliverson behind the plate for Utah. Gubler at third, Dash Avery at short, Jake Tomlinson at second, Brady Fry at first base in the infield behind Coop. The 1-2 pitch. Strike three called on the outside corner. And there's two away.
Boys aren't wasting any time today. Just get it and throw it right here. Brogan Coop using an outside corner. So got the line drive out to start it. Then gets David Edwards for his first strikeout of the day.
And to finish out defensively for Utah, it's Damian Richards in left, Chaz Hickman in center, and Harvey Matthews in right as Nolan Gifford stands in. And here is Gifford. He is the son of head coach Ryan Gifford. And what's cool about this 36-year history of Henderson Little League baseball, although this is their first state championship team, Dad Ryan was on the first ever Henderson Little League All-Star team 36 years ago. .2-0 pitch, misses up and in, 3-0.
And Henderson, an area that's got a lot of baseball history. Nolan Gifford had a decent first baseball coach, a guy by the name of Troy Tulowitzki. That's somebody that's okay to learn the game from when you're 7 years old.
It's pretty top tier. The coach was telling us that it happened to be that Tulowitzki was rehabbing an injury during the fall and wanted to coach some fall ball, and just so happened that Nolan was on the team that Tulo was coaching. As Coop battles back to bring the count full. So Coop trying to go after his adversary here. The 3-2. This is away, and the first base runner of the game for Nevada. And that'll bring up the catcher, Jackson McMullen. He's really been the star of the show in the lead up to this tournament. He threw a no-hitter in the first game of the district tournament that really propelled this team onto the run that they're on right now. Said if given a chance, he'd like to meet Shaquille O'Neal. So wouldn't we all? Here's the 0-1. And Coop up to 15 pitches now here in the first inning in KP. I have to imagine with the two aces on the mound, really the only thing that's going to stop these guys, aside from having a bad outing, is the 85 pitch limit. There's a wild pitch there from Coop, because I know you mentioned it, that these coaches have been angling to get these two starting pitchers on the mound in this game all week, so they're going to try to go as long as they can.
Yeah, that doesn't happen all the time, to where you get to a championship game and it's, 1 against 1. A lot of times you've had to battle and use guys to get to that point. But for both these teams, they've got their best out there.
Off the glove, off the backstop. Oliverson had trouble with it. And so Nolan Gifford is around to third base. Still no hits for either team, but Nevada threatening here with 2 outs in the bottom of the first. Here's the 3-1. Swing and a miss from McMullen.
It doesn't feel like one of those games to where somebody's going to get 4 hits in an inning. But it may be one swing, it may be a ball that ends up going out of the ballpark, but both these kids have really good stuff, and it's going to be tough to time them up 3-4 times in the same inning.
And if they're not giving up a lot of hits because of the continuous batting order, that means that guys aren't going to get a chance to see it more than maybe 2, maybe 3 times if they're lucky.
Yeah.
Here's the 3-2 and a whiff. As Coop pitches out of the jam, Gifford stranded at third. No hits, no runs for Nevada. We go to the top of the second in the Mountain Region Championship game. No score. No score as we move to the top of the second inning here in the Mountain Region Championship game in San Bernardino, California. Nolan Gifford, well, he says he either wants to be a Major League Baseball player or a dentist. I don't know if you could pick two polar opposite careers, but he has been going after batters in this tournament. The first game of the week against Montana, 16 strikeouts. Kyle, you talked about the velocity on that fastball, had guys chasing all over the place.
You know, you'll see a lot of 12-year-olds that throw hard. You don't see a lot of kids that strike out 19 and don't walk anybody, and that's what Nolan has done up to this point. Game one, struck out 16, no walks. He did hit the first guy of the game, gave up just one hit in the first inning. The only base runner reached via the air, then he struck out the next three. The mechanics are about perfect for a 12-year-old. Everything is in line going to home plate, and he's going to show you a mid-70s fastball the entire night.
First batter of the game for Utah reached via an error. The next three struck out against Nolan Gifford, and it'll be Jake Tomlinson to lead things off. Tomlinson and Avery up the middle defensively for Utah have been so fun to watch this week. They've turned some double plays. We've seen diving catches. These guys are so polished, and they're so comfortable on this stage, given that, again, 5 of them were here, a part of this squad who made it to Williamsport last year.
Yeah, and different kids, right? I mean, it's been a bunch of different positions that have made web gem plays throughout this entire Utah run to this game.
Strikeout number 4 for Nolan Gifford as Tomlinson looks at the fastball. 1 away.
Well, so far at least he's keeping it simple, and it's not as easy as he's making it look. But fastballs live on the outside part of the plate. His catcher Jackson McMullen sitting there, and he's hitting the glove most of the time.
Jackson Red got a piece of that one on the first pitch he saw. We love Jackson Red. This guy is cool as a cucumber. In the first game, Coach Kyle Hafen was telling us Red was the starting pitcher, came out after the end of the 4th inning, was in the dugout. Obviously still a couple innings left to go in that game, and Coach Hafen turns to Red, who pops that one into foul territory, and says, "You all good?" And Jackson just goes, "Yeah, are we still going to Dave & Buster's after this game's over?"
That would be the 12-year-old indication that, yes, we're all good. Yep, we're fine. Just want to make sure that the post-game plans are the same.
That's right. 5 strikeouts in a row now for Gifford. This is unbelievable.
Yeah, this is keep it simple. Every pitch in the entire game has been a fastball except the one that he struck out Brogan Coop to end the first inning. This inning, a few foul balls by Jackson Red, then he just climbs the ladder. 18 pitches so far, 16 for strikes.
He's only thrown 2 balls. Oh, man. First pitch to Brady Fry is fouled away. Brady wants to end up in the sports radio broadcasting booth when his days of playing baseball are done. Fry at first base today defensively. It's normally Brogan Coop's position. Coop, of course, pitching. And it might take a time or two through the lineup for these Utah kids to catch up to this speed. They're just waving at him right now. Here's the 0-2 from Gifford. Just missed.
Yeah, I think the toughest thing with velocity at this age is you've never seen anything like this. These kids from Utah, it's hard to prepare for it because you've never seen a 12-year-old that throws this hard.
6 outs, 6 strikeouts for Nolan Gifford. The train keeps a-rolling for the Henderson, Nevada kids. We go to the bottom of the second. Nevada coming up to the plate. And Utah coach Kyle Hafen pacing in the dugout, and Nolan Gifford and his 6 strikeouts will make a coach pace, KP, but it's been so fun getting to know Kyle Hafen in this tournament. And really what he has hung his hat on has been his team's defense throughout the entire week.
Yeah, I'd say the boys practice throwing the leather a little bit. How about this in center field? Chaz Hickman, go get it. And that was Matt Gubler out in right. We kind of held our breath for a minute when they made it. It was an unbelievable play. He just wanted to make sure that Each kid was okay. Then Dash Avery, we saw on the mound last night. We've seen some gems at shortstop. Went up the middle to get one. Watch this. Transfer a throw off the right foot right on the run. This the first play yesterday. How about getting it started with one of your own? Lays out right there. Our guy Harvey Matthews did it. That was the first out. You don't see too many of these in Little League Baseball. The old 5-4-3 double play. That got him out of the 5th inning yesterday. But the boys from Utah can pick it up and throw it.
Well, right now, defense is going to be what they need to hang in there until they catch up to the fastball of Nolan Gifford. And as we move to the bottom of the 2nd inning, each team has had one base runner. Neither team has had a hit. Nolan Gifford has struck out 6, and Brogan Coop, back out on the mound for his 2nd inning of work, has struck out 2. Arlie Daniel IV stands in. A very regal name for the Henderson first baseman. As Arlie, a big Philadelphia Eagles fan. And I wonder, KP, if, along with being an Eagles fan, if Daniel is a Philadelphia Phillies fan, because if Nevada were to make it to Williamsport, they get a chance to be a part of that Major League Baseball Little League Classic that I know you're so fond of, with the Phils and Nats playing in Williamsport. And a line drive base hit, the first hit of the game for either team, for Arlie Daniel IV.
Well, if Arlie's not a Phillies fan, he will be if they get to Williamsport. That'll change you pretty quick when you're hanging out in the stands with Bryce Harper and the boys. We'll break a ball up in the zone, and big boy shoots it to left. First hit of the ball game we've seen on either side, and Nevada's got a base runner here in the 7th.
And here is JoJo Carquet. First pitch swinging. Muscles it into center field. Hickman comes up short. The throw to second will get Daniel on the force out. So the old 8-6 fielder's choice, because Daniel kind of had to hang. That goes back to respecting the defense that we've seen of this Utah team. Hickman's made that catch already in this tournament, and so you kind of have to hold if you're the base runner.
Yeah, there's nothing Arlie Daniel can do on this one. You got to wait and make sure the ball's not caught, because then you're going to get doubled up if it is. But a good job out in center by Hickman. Lay out, but keep it close enough you can still make the play.
So Carquet is on first, and here is Truman Morris. Hello, Truman. Truman stands in with one down. And now Coop's starting to dial it up a little bit. I have to imagine, too, KP, if you're Brogan Coop, you see Nolan Gifford out there on the mound for Nevada, you say, you know, I could do that too. I could throw the heater too. Watch this.
Yeah, I mean,
takes a little something off of it there.
You know, the guy on the other side is going to strike out a bunch of dudes. I mean, that's just, they know who Nolan Griffin is coming into this. And for Brogan, that's awesome. Like, I mean, you get to show up right here and know you get a chance to go one-on-one against a really good one. So far, he's been really good himself.
Morris, one of the extra hitters in the lineup for Nevada. That means that he doesn't currently have a defensive assignment. Here's the 2-2. Fouled off, and the reason being we have the new continuous batting order rule this year that basically says that doesn't matter if you're playing defense or not, you still have a spot in the batting order. Helps the games move along a lot smoother. Not any pitch hitters subbing guys in and out. Everybody hits. That one gets past Oliverson. And down to second base goes JoJo Carquet. This is a team at Nevada. They've got two JoJos. They got JoJo Carquet and JoJo Dixon. Got a monopoly on JoJos here in the Mountain region. And a walk to Morris. It's 2 on. And 1 out for the other JoJo. JoJo Dixon. Dixon had a home run in the 6-3 win against Utah in the semifinal game. One swing of the bat will put we'll put Nevada on the board here in the second.
Oh, man, JoJo Dixon's got like a quarterback towel in his back right pocket. He's got his number on it. I mean, this is big time for a 12-year-old. We got the oven mitt in the left pocket just in case we get on first base, and then we got the towel in the back right pocket with his name on it and his number.
He might want to invest in a fanny pack or a satchel or something. That's a lot to carry around the bases. '21. The 1-2 pitch. Fouled away. It's home run from the other night. Pretty smooth swing out of JoJo Dixon.
Oh, it's a sweet swing. And this gave Nevada their first lead of the game. I mean, look at those hands get to it. Barrel it up, backspin out to left center field. They would go on from there and extend that lead. But JoJo, that swing, ended up being the difference in that ballgame. I'm sorry, I can't get past the towel. Like if I mean, do you just like order that online and get it made for us? This is beautiful.
Yeah, that's custom. That's an Etsy job right there. Oliverson really trying to frame it behind the plate, but Rick Ellman, home plate umpire, calls it a ball. 2-2. Two on, one out here in the bottom of the second for Nevada. They get 3-2. "38th pitch upcoming from Brogan Coop. Line drive right at Avery. Tried to scoop it on the hop. Instead, it goes to the wall. 1 run will score for Nevada as Carquet comes around. Here comes Truman Morris, and it's 2-0 Nevada as JoJo Dixon delivers again.
We got the oven mitt. We got the towel with our name and our number on the back. We got line drives. We're dancing at second base. Like JoJo, have yourself a Friday, man. This is a pretty good start. Drives it out to left center, and that ball was hit. Dash Avery may be thinking he had a chance to turn to double play. So played it off to the side a little bit. Instead gets by him, and Nevada strikes first here in the second.
Ruled a double, so 2 ribbies for Dixon. He has been the thorn in the side of Utah at the plate. Gave him the lead, gave Nevada the lead in the 4th inning in the semifinal game between these two teams, and gives them the lead here in the bottom of the second as Logan Levasseur looks at a strike. As his special talent, KP, is hitting dingers like Big Al. We all remember Big Al.
Big Al's got some shelf life, man.
Hot shot from Levasseur. Dixon turns and stops at third. And it'll be runners at the corners as the Nevada batters starting to tag Brogan Coop here in the second.
Hey, pick him up, pick him up, pick him up. Harley.
Still just 1 out. The left-handed hitting Morgan Walther comes to the plate. And first and third defense, Oliverson coming out and giving it the sign. Walther was 1 for 3 in the first meeting between these two teams. Utah, the Snow Canyon Little League team from Santa Clara. A really great Little League program. Again, they had the state championship team last year that made it to Williamsport. Walther. He's a fan of the 96 Chicago Bulls.
Yeah, so we got the 96 Bulls with B.J. Armstrong starting it off. But my favorite is the walk-up song. If he could have a walk-up song, Careless Whisper by George Michael. I'm all in, dude. This Mason, you are my guy right now.
Drops down the bunt. Dixon freezes at third. Throw to first is in time. Good bunt defense by Utah. As Levasseur moves up to second, and Walther makes the second out of the inning.
This is really well defended. Watch Gubler at third base. I mean, he crashes right here, and bare hands it. Doesn't even need to turn around because he got to it so fast. Doesn't glove it. It's hardly moving. Bare hands it. Base runner can't go anywhere, and they get that runner at first base. Now you're just a pitch away from getting out of it.
Strike called to Chase Daly. Chopper to Gubler. Got caught in between hops, and a run scores for Nevada.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot you can do on this one. Matt Gubler, who just made a beauty a minute ago on the bunt. I mean, it's the high chopper. You got to try to come get it, because if you don't, it's going to be an out, or it's going to be a hit the entire time. But that second hop so often has a ton of top spin. It goes all the way up his glove right there, and Nevada adds another one.
Dixon scores. Levasseur to third. Daly reaches on the error to Gubler. And here is Liam Wells. And again, a first and third situation. And we'll have a mound visit for Utah. That's Coach Oliverson. And usually if there's a pitching change, Coach Kyle Hafen will be the one to come out. So just a pep talk, we assume, here from Coach Oliverson. And if you're Utah, just get one more out. Try not to get too far out of reach with Nolan Gifford on the mound for Nevada.
Yeah, this one's hard, right? Because you know that the guy on the other side is so good that it's going to be hard to get any runs. Now you got 3 in this inning, but just get back in there, see if you can square a few up, and you never know. I don't think Nolan's been hit very hard very often, so if you barrel a few up, maybe a feeling he hadn't had very much.
And so if you're keeping track of requested walk-up songs, KP, you went from Careless Whisper with one guy. Now Liam Wells says he would take For Whom the Bell Tolls by Metallica.
All right. I'd like to see those two in the same concert. That'd be a good combo.
Yeah, I think you get quite a couple of different type of fan base.
Yeah, that'd be some people watching. Give me George Michael and Metallica in the same show.
Wells down in the count, 1-2. 3 runs have scored here for Nevada in the second. And a strikeout ends the inning. JoJo Dixon, 2 RBI double to start the run parade for Nevada. 3 hits in the inning, 3 runs scored. Nevada on top 3-0 as JoJo Dixon comes up in a big spot and gives his team the lead. We go to the top of the third here in San Bernardino. Three-0 lead for Nevada. We go to the top of the third here, the Mountain Region Championship game. And I remind you that you can find Little League on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok at the official handles at Little League. And don't forget to use hashtag LLWS in the conversation. And we've seen the fans getting into it. Everybody on their phones in between innings. All right, now put the phones away. Nolan Gifford's back out on the mound. He's recorded 6 outs. They've all been strikeouts. 1 batter for Utah has reached. It was the first batter of the game. It came via an error. And here is Mac Gubler to try his hand at Nolan Gifford. And I got to do it, KP. We've had Utah all week. Mac Gubler. It might be my last chance. Mac Gubler!
You're probably going to see him again, but you haven't let too many of those opportunities go by.
No, I'm not going to let one pass. we got to get Will Forte on the phone. Yeah, Eric Rothman, Kyle Peterson here with you. Mac Gubler, the third baseman, leading things off for Utah. Down in the count 0-2. Gifford looking for his 7th straight strikeout. He got it. KP, for baseball fans of my generation, this is a Kerry Wood-esque performance so far by Nolan Gifford.
Yeah, that's my generation too. I'm with you right there. It is so far. It is leaning heavily on the fastball, living away, and that velocity again, somewhere in the mid-70s for Gifford has just been too much so far for these Utah bats.
Brogan Oliverson, first pitch swinging, fly ball, right center field, and it'll be Lester to make the catch. And that ends the strikeout streak at 7, but still no hits for the Utah team.
I think the crazy thing, too, for Nolan is he struck out 7 guys. He's got 8 outs. He's only thrown 27 pitches. So even with that number of strikeouts, the pitch count is still so efficient. That's why he's only thrown 4 balls. So he's got 2 outs here in the 3rd inning.
Here's Harvey Matthews. 5 of those 7 strikeouts have been the swinging variety. Matthews, they call him dirty because when he's on the mound, he throws dirty curveballs. Saw him play some dirty second base the other day. Made the Sports Center top 10 yesterday. How cool is that? You make the Sports Center top 10 at 12 years old.
Yeah. I mean, think about that. Like, these kids are staying at a hotel in San Bernardino. A lot of kids, the dorms, they don't have dorms for them to stay in San Bernardino. If you're sitting with your buddies at night, you got Sports Center on before you go to bed, and you're like, that's me. Like, I'm right there. That right there, that's me. This time, Harv goes down swinging, and it's another strikeout. That's 8 so far for Nolan Gifford, who has been efficient. He's thrown 5 balls and punched out 8 so far. It is 3-0 Nevada early.
3-0 Nevada. There's been a lot of fans off the field and on the field with Nolan Gifford fanning 8 batters so far for the Henderson squad as Nevada comes to the plate with a 3-0 lead here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. And it'll be their leadoff man, Cruz Lester, to lead things off against Brogan Coop, who delivers a strike. Lester lined out to Gubler at 3rd, and the 1st inning, he says he likes turtles as his. Is that the meme? It's the meme he likes. What?
Yeah.
You know, there's sometimes I can figure out what these kids are talking about, and then you see one like that, or I got nothing for you. Can we go back to the '96 Chicago Bulls? That's more up my alley.
Yeah, if you're looking for help here, George Michael, I got a better chance with, I think, but that one I'm not sure.
I like turtles. All right.
Don't wait.
All right, Cruz Lester. I like how they flash our names when we say we don't know anything. They put our names up on the screen, make sure everybody knows who doesn't know anything. Brogan Coop gets a strike. And his 4th punch out of the game. And right now, if you're Coop, KP, you got to be a little bit more efficient, right? You want to stay in this ball game as long as possible. You're up to 55 pitches. Aside from that stretch of batters there in the 2nd inning where you gave up the 3 hits, you've been pretty good. It's just some wild pitches and some long at-bats have elevated that pitch count.
Yeah, and you're facing a really good team, too, right? I mean, this Nevada team has played 2 games here. They've won each of those 2 games. Offensively, in that 2nd inning, they looked really good.
Here's David Edwards, who struck out in the 1st inning. There is Nolan Gifford on deck. And the other thing, too, we talk so much about the Utah defense. You'd almost be okay with Coop taking some miles per hour off these pitches, putting them over the plate, and letting his defense do the work instead of driving up the pitch count.
Yeah, you definitely trust your guys behind you, that's for sure.
Ripped into left field. A base hit by David Edwards. And a runner on here in the 3rd for Nevada. And now Nolan Gifford. Look at his pitching line in the tournament. 24 strikeouts, 0 walks. Takes a strike there. He's barely thrown enough balls to even consider getting a walk, let alone an actual walk. That one smoked. Left center field, off the wall. Scooping it up is Hickman. Stopping at third is Edwards. The throw behind him. He's out. Edwards took a big turn off of third base, and a good relay from Hickman out in center to get the out.
Yeah, look at this pass. I mean, these last two swings have been beautiful, and you get the same thing right here from Nolan Gifford. Drives it out to left center field. David Edwards, who was on there with a one-out single, he had his mind made up. He was going home. The problem is Ryan Gifford, his head coach, had that left hand up and saw it a little bit too late. I thought he got that right hand in there. I may have come off the bag a little bit, but instead the tag is made, and I think we'll probably take a look at this one. I think the right hand got back to the base before the tag. It's just whether or not it came off the base after.
Yeah, I think you're right. I thought that the hand got in there as well. The umpiring crew will get the challenge from Nevada. Rick Ellman, Chris Watkins, Andy Inkles, and Len Gherkin, the 4 umpires in the game. And we're kind of obstructed by both the coach and the umpire in our 2 views of it. Man, it's tough to see if Edwards' hand kind of bobbles off the bag or not. Gubler was the one applying the tag. Rick Ellman, the home plate umpire, was right on top of it. There's the overhead shot.
Yeah, I thought he was there to start. Then the tag is made. I thought that left hand got back in time. Now, I mean, he kind of sticks it in the dirt to start and then reaches out, got a piece of the base. I thought he had a piece of the base before the tag was there because the tag's there now. It's just whether or not that's going to be enough to overturn what was originally an out call. And based on what we've seen, I don't know that it is.
We're working on the backstroke there at third for David Edwards. As Nevada head coach Ryan Gifford. Edwards still standing at third, waiting for the official ruling. And we've seen quite often in this tournament in these close challenges where it could go either way, or maybe we don't have the greatest view at it. We tend to get the call on the field stands because there's just not enough evidence to overturn it. And the call on the field is out on the Gifford double. So we'll get the call from Rick Ellman after the review. Oh, there you go. So 2 away on the put out at third. Ellman gives us the call. I got to tell you, KP, Rick Ellman, our home plate umpire, he's like the Ed Hockley of Little League officials. That guy is ready to go.
Yeah, every day's
like 3
day.
bills back there.
It's just, why wouldn't you?
Jackson McMullen, a ball in the dirt. Gifford on to third. Second time Gifford's been on today. And Oliverson, he's taking a beating back there today.
Yeah, doing everything he can to get that body out there. Try to block it. It got his forearm, and he's doing what you're taught to do. Try to slide your whole body out. Ideally, you wanted to hit that chest protector, but it doesn't always work that way. When you just need a minute to get those bumblebees from stopping to sting you. That one hurts. I mean, he's trying. That's exactly what you're supposed to do. Move that body out there, try to block it. It hard to do when the ball's coming in that hard. Yeah, it looked like it caught him right on top of the forearm.
Well, yeah, it's a good point, Kyle, which is that, we've talked about how difficult it is for these batters to catch up to the speed of these pitchers, Nolan Gifford and Brogan Coop, but just as difficult for the catchers as well. If one gets away, you're risking your body out there trying to stop the ball from getting behind you.
With not a lot of time to do it, too. It is quick.
So Oliverson's okay. And it'll be McMullen standing in with a 1-0 count. Make it a 1-1 count. McMullen struck out in his only plate appearance so far. He's all on top of the plate, McMullen is. Two-one, chopped foul. So Coop over 65 pitches now. Again, the limit is 85. And control has been what has driven up the pitch count so far for Coop. Oliverson dives to keep Gifford at third.
That time he had to, too. He almost had to leave his feet. Went to the breaking ball. That was off the play, but Brogan saved a run.
In the dirt, ball 4. Gifford comes home on the wild pitch, and it's 4-0 Nevada.
Fastball down in the dirt, and again, the technique behind the plate is exactly what you want. He drops down to those knees, trying to keep it in front. Sometimes it just, if it doesn't catch that chest protector square, it'll squirt away enough. And a good read over on third base by Nolan Gifford to come in and score the 4th run.
So here is Arlie Daniel, the 4th. Had a single in the 2nd inning. He said one of his favorite trips that he's ever been on with his family. They went to Texas when he was 8 years old. They got to go to the Cotton Bowl to watch the Texas Longhorns play. Went to the Texas State Fair. So it was a pretty memorable trip as he launches that one into center field. Going back is Hickman. He can't make the catch. McMullen coming around. He will score, and it's an RBI for Arlie Daniel as he stands on second to make it 5-0 Nevada.
Well, Arlie Daniels hit it hard twice. Both times he's been up there today. This one out away from him, and his arms get extended. Stays right on it. Just missed driving this one out, and Chaz Hickman out in center field just missed making another outstanding play. It was a great break just out of his reach. Now 2-run scoring here with 2 outs in the 3rd for Nevada.
Good. Yeah, you sure? Okay. Hey, let's go get out of this inning, all right? 2 outs, runner on second. How's the changeup feel?
My fastball's just not working. I don't know why. I can't find the strike zone.
Okay, that's all right. So what pitch you want to be throwing right now?
Curveball's not working. I guess just straight fastball, honestly.
Okay, stays fastball?
Stay fastball.
Okay, we'll stay fastball. Let's get this out. Go in and hit. Hey, a lot of ball game left, okay? We're good, all right? We okay?
Yeah.
You okay? Mm-hmm. You need a flex again? No? All right. We're good, Scott. Thanks.
It's been a joy listening to Kyle Hayford all week. Keeping it positive as always. Coop, you can hear the frustration on Coop. He says it's not working. Can't figure it out. Trying to go back to the fastball. The winner of this one will head to Williamsport, the Little League World Series. The Mountain Region Championship game right now. Nevada on top 5-0 here in the bottom of the 3rd, looking for more. JoJo Carquet coming to the plate. He goes the opposite way into right field. A base hit for JoJo Carquet. Arlie Daniel will come around to score. It's 6-0 Nevada.
Well, for Nevada in this inning, all these runs have scored with 2 outs. That time, JoJo Carquet just taking what he's got. Fastball that actually may have been off the plate, but it was definitely on the outside part. Waited, drove it out to right. Henry Daniel going right when he sees contact and scores a 3rd run of the inning.
Swing and a miss from Truman Morris, who walked and scored in the 2nd inning. So no runs in the 1st for Nevada. They scored 3 in the 2nd, now 3 here in the 3rd. Morris looks at the ball, 1-1. Morris says he's a big Boston Red Sox fan. And he says his favorite movie is Napoleon Dynamite. A classic no matter what age. Shallow right field going back to make the catch is Tomlinson, and he ends the inning. Good over-the-shoulder catch for Jake Tomlinson, but Nevada scores 3. 6-0. Nevada on top. We head to the 4th.
One at-bat at a time, one pitch at a time. Stay in the game. Let's go.
Boys, let's go.
1, 2, 3.
Let's go, boys. Come on. Hey, get to the next guy.
Coach Kyle Hayford always keeping it positive for the Utah kids. And with that mustache, KP, he's like the Ted Lasso of Utah. And we love listening in on the huddles for Utah all week. They've got quite a hill to climb. 6-0 deficit now with Nolan Gifford coming back out onto the mound for Nevada. Gifford has been nearly perfect. He's only had 1 base runner reach in the game, and that was due to an error. The leadoff batter of the game, Chaz Hickman, reached on that error. Since then, Gifford has struck out 8, and there's only been 1 ball in play, and that was a fly out to right field in the 3rd inning. So we'll see if we get more of Gifford and those strikeouts here in the 4th inning with Troy Clarkson coming up to the plate.
And all you can do is stay positive in this one. I mean, you know it's an uphill battle. You know the guy on the mound has been really good, but just simplify, try to put that thing in play, see if you can make good things happen.
Clarkson's favorite book, Hatchet. That was a book I had to read when I was in elementary school. I remember that one. So, I know you love some of the answers on the questionnaires these kids fill out. When Troy Clarkson was asked, do you speak any other languages? He says, I can say crazy cockroach in Spanish.
Well, that counts, and he speaks Spanish.
I don't know if that qualifies. Swing and a miss.
We're going to count it, Troy. Okay. That one we're going to count, all right?
9th strikeout of the game for Gifford.
Yeah, I mean, this is just grab it and throw it, let it go, and that's exactly what Nolan Gifford has done so far. 10 outs recorded so far, 9 have been strikeouts.
And here is Preston Hyatt, his first at-bat. He's the last batter in the lineup for Utah. And speaking of other languages, I did think it was pretty cool, KP, that we learned that a lot of these Utah kids are part of a Chinese language immersion program in their school. And so half the day of their education, every day of the year, is taught in Chinese. And so when the Snow Canyon Little League team won this mountain region last year, and they went to Williamsport, they got to interact with the team from Chinese Taipei, and they got to speak in Chinese to the kids and converse with the kids from Chinese Taipei. And what a great experience that is.
Yeah, for both of them, right? I mean, the kids from Chinese Taipei probably not thinking that there's going to be too many kids that speak Mandarin Chinese when they show up in Williamsport. And there wasn't too many, but there was a few.
Just the 6th ball that Gifford has thrown in this game, and it was a close one. Here's the 1-2. He went around on the swing, did Preston Hyatt. 10 strikeouts for Nolan Gifford.
It's just so hard for these kids. I mean, you got to dial up for velocity, and so those hands, you know, your thought process is, I got to get the hands going as soon as I possibly can. Then it's just down and out of the zone. You don't have enough time to slow that swing down, and that's what velocity will do to you, and Nolan Gifford has plenty of it today.
Hickman, the only batter to reach base here for Utah in this game. Reached on an error. Superstition spills cereal. I guess that's on purpose.
I've seen that. That's fine. That'll make you some friends. Yeah, they're
I mean, I hope it cleans it up.
Staff will be really excited after
right.
that. No, it's my superstition. I have no choice.
Sorry. The service industry not a fan of Chaz Hickman's superstition. He also says his special talent, he's very good at ping pong. He's a two-sport athlete. 2-1 to count to Hickman. This is the first time, I believe, in the game that Gifford's been behind in the count. Which is a crazy thing to say as we near the end of the top half of the fourth inning. Ten strikeouts for Nolan Gifford. Still just 41 pitches thrown. And no sign of slowing down anytime soon. Strike call.
That's the first time he's gone to a 2-ball count, isn't it?
I believe it is, yes. Just misses. So now an opportunity for Hickman to be a repeat customer here. The only player who's reached base so far for Utah could do it again. 3-2 count from Gifford. Swing and a miss. Strikes out the side in order. 11 Ks on the day for Nolan Gifford.
All the running coming to fastball.
Nevada on top 6-0 here at the bottom of the fourth inning. And if you want to see some girls with game, tune into the excitement of the hashtag Summer of Softball and visit LittleLeagueSoftball.org for great content, information about starting a softball league, and more. Little League Softball World Series going on right now in Greenville, North Carolina. Here's how the bracket shakes out. Got Texas and New York already in the semifinals. Got two North Carolina teams doing battle in an elimination game on ESPN2. And then Puerto Rico and Connecticut will be playing in an elimination game as well. And real quick, Kyle, I had a chance to call the softball regional here in San Bernardino a couple weeks ago. One of the teams that made the final of that tournament was the Quartz Hill team from Southern California. Sadly, their head coach, Steve Sandberg, passed away the day after that tournament ended. He was known as Grandpa Steve. His granddaughter, Brooklyn, was the star pitcher of that tournament. I just wanted to send my deepest condolences to the Quartz Hill Little League community. It was a pleasure getting to know Grandpa Steve and calling that tournament, and we wish the family all the best as the Little League Softball World Series continues in Greenville. And here is Harvey Matthews, who will replace Brogan Coop on the mound for Utah here in the bottom of the fourth. We heard Coop in the huddle when Coach Kyle Hafen, who was mic'd up, said, you know what, just not working today, Coach. Couldn't find the strike zone and struggled a little bit as JoJo Dixon stands in a 2-0 count against Matthews.
You know what I love, though, is when he asked him if he wanted to stay in, he said yes. So even though it wasn't working and going exactly the way he wanted to, Brogan was still like, yeah, give me the ball. I want to keep going.
Coop moves over to first base. And going into right field is Gubler. As a 4-pitch walk by Harvey Matthews. And puts Dixon on, a leadoff runner here in the bottom of the fourth inning. And Logan Lavasser Can find him on the baseball field or at the lake with his family. Living a life of leisure as a 12-year-old. I miss those days.
That would qualify as a good summer. That would qualify as a solid summer. I'm going to fish and play golf, and I win.
You said the golf part, not Lavasser. Let's just be clear. That's a Kyle Peterson perfect summer. Strike called. Lavasser had a single on his first plate appearance today. Breaking ball in there for strike 1 and 2. On the ground, left side, base hit. Dixon rounds third. He's heading for home. Here's the relay, not in time. Lavasser to second. He's in there with an RBI to make it 7-0 Nevada.
Not that aggressive base running. So JoJo Dixon gets on with the walk, advances to second, then the breaking ball, it's up in the zone. Logan Lavasser's taken some really good swings these last few days. Here's another one. Shoots it to left field, and JoJo doesn't hit the brakes, man. Around third, he scores. Good heads-up base runner by Lavasser to end up at second base, and it's now 7-0 Nevada.
Kyle Hafen out to talk to the umpiring crew. Maybe a question as to if JoJo Dixon hit third base. It's the only thing I can think of that he would be challenging here. Or maybe because there wasn't a slide on the play at second.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure. I mean, everybody was clearly safe. Or at least it seemed like everybody was clearly safe.
The challenge is on the play at second.
Well, it was a lot closer than it needed to be. I mean, if you slide right here, it's a lot tougher.
Yeah. Slide would have been the move there.
Yeah, I think he's safe. I think that, watch the left foot. Yeah, left foot's down, I think, just before the tag. But you slide right there, and that one's a no-doubter. You're in there easy. Logan looked a little bit surprised. He looked up and realized that there was going to get a tag made and went, ooh. Didn't know that was going to happen.
Just a reminder of the run rule here at the regional tournament. 15 runs after 3 innings, 10 runs after 4. Nevada is the home team, so 3 more runs here in the 4th inning would end the ball game and send Nevada to Williamsport. But we're a long way from that. We've got Lavasser standing at second. That's the play in question. And it looks like we'll have a ruling from Rick Alman. And Lavasser will stay at second. Got the single and the RBI. Advanced to second on the throw home. And so it'll be a runner in scoring position. Mason Walther coming to the plate. Walther, the lefty. Dodges that one. Says he loves to watch college football. Says his favorite baseball player is Mike Trout.
Well, he could have a pretty fun next few weeks now. I mean, you go spend a week or 2 in Williamsport. If they can hold on, and then when you're there, the college football season starts right at the back end. So he's got his favorite sport coming right after what is one of the best sporting events in the entire country.
we keep going about these guys' favorite songs, walk-up songs. Mason Walter has listed a song as his favorite song. It's got 3 artists in the song. KP, I haven't heard of a single one of them. I mean, not even like, oh, maybe I've heard this guy in passing. It's a song called Mammoth by Dimitri Vegas, Mogwai, and Like Mike. Yeah, I'm 0 for 3 on all of those.
Really?
You don't know? That's your hype song? That's your first T-Box warm-up song? Yeah, okay.
I just saw him downtown last week.
That's right, of course. I know you're hip. You're hip to it.
That is me.
You know what should be required is that all these kids, build us a playlist. I was about to say burn us a CD, and that was going to make us sound really old.
That would have been even better.
With all this music. I was real close to saying burn us a CD or a mixtape.
Yep, there you go.
Walter's on with the walk, and so now potentially the winning run, Chase Daly coming to the plate. If Levasseur at second, Walter at first, and Daly all came around to score, the ball game would be over. Still nobody out here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Nevada has been perfect in this tournament. 2-0 with wins over Montana and this very Nevada team in the semifinal game. And the winner, of course, will move on to Williamsport starting August 16th on ESPN. It looks like we are going to have a pitching change here for Utah. So we'll step aside as we get a new pitcher. 7-0, Nevada on top, nobody out, 2 on here in the bottom of the 4th in San Bernardino. So pitching change here for Utah, down 7-0, the bottom of the 4th inning. Before we get to the pitching change, the Athletes Unlimited Week 3 softball schedule rolls out on Saturday afternoon. The coverage on ESPN2 starting at 2:30 Eastern from Parkway Bank Sports Complex, in Rosemont, Illinois. And so it'll continue Saturday. Again, game starting at 2:30 Eastern on ESPN2. So lead Jackson Red to the mound for Utah. Red has pitched in every single game that Utah has played here this week, his 4th appearance. So Red comes in, 2 runners on, nobody out. First pitch delivered to Daly is popped out of play. Came in last night with the game on the line. He only threw 2 pitches, was a bit wild, and Coach Hafen pulled him out in favor of Brogan Coop. He did start 1 game. Has a strike called there. Coop and Red both with that mullet hairdo. On the ground, past the pitcher. Chance for 2 here for Utah. Not in time. Walther out at second. Daly safe at first.
I know they didn't turn to double play, but this is really well done up the middle by Jake Thomason, the second baseman, because it's right in that spot to where the ball can hit the bag. You're not quite sure where it's going to go. Gloves it cleanly, steps on second, just misses finishing off the double play, but now keeps the double play in order, and we'll see if they want to take another look at this.
I think they do. So Kyle Hafen will challenge the play at first base. Called safe initially by first base umpire Chris Watkins. Take another look at it. Daly hustling down the line.
Daly hustling down the line.
Throw.
Jackson Red dancing on the mound. You get a replay, that means you get a little bit of music, so Jackson's going to take advantage of it. He's safe. You can still see the baseball before it got into the glove. I mean, it was close. It was really close, but that front foot hit the front of the bag again. These kids have done a really good job of running down to first base. Hit the front part of the bag. You don't, one, you can hurt yourself. That ankle can turn, but two, just a little bit quicker getting down that line.
A couple defensive changes during the pitching swap for Utah. They moved Goobler out to left field, Matthews to right. Red was on the bench without a defensive assignment, so he comes into the game to throw. And we expect it to be first and third with one out. As we expect that this call will be confirmed. Daly safe at first. Utah's out of challenges as Levasseur heads over to third base. And that'll bring up Liam Wells with one down. First pitch swinging on the ground. Fry has it over to third. Brings Coop off the bag. A run will score. The second out made over at first. 8-0 lead now for Nevada.
A good time to get Brogan Coop over to first base, too. Tallest kid on this Utah team, and he kind of needed all of it. Jumps up, gets it, but comes down with that right foot just on the bag.
Cruz Lester up for his third plate appearance. He's the leadoff batter for Henderson. 0 for 2 today with a strikeout and a line out. The runner at second is Chase Daly. Nevada still needs 2 more runs if they want to end this game with the run rule. Wild pitch, Daly on to third. And a 3-0 count to Cruz Lester. Oh, threw it behind Lester for ball 4.
And Oliverson caught it. It was one to get out of the way, but the other, if that goes to the backstop, that's going to score another run. Brogan Oliverson just, watch him throw the glove at him. Get the back out of the way, and then that's a heck of a play. You got to go a long ways. You get the hitter in the way, but he saved a run again.
So the winning run at first base now for David Edwards. He's got a strikeout and a single in today's game. Cruz Lester representing the winning run. Belted into right field, but under it is... Oh, no, I thought Matthews was under it. Hickman called him off. Daly scores, and now the game's over. Cruz Lester scores on the miscue by Utah, and Nevada is going to Williamsport. Well, it seemed, KP, like a pretty routine fly ball for Harvey Matthews in right field, and then all of a sudden, Chaz Hickman comes flying in out of nowhere. The ball drops and heads up, base running by Cruz Lester, and a 10-0 walk-off win for Nevada sends them to Williamsport.
Yeah, 2 outs right there. Cruz Lester is running the entire time. So the minute this one falls, he's got a chance, and you got to wave him on. See if you can end it right here. David Edwards just missed hitting this ball out. Hit the bottom part of the baseball, and you're right. Harvey Matthews looked like he was probably there. Instead, the ball drops. The boys from Nevada on to the Little League World Series for just the second time in that state's history.
Edwards couldn't believe it either. The 36-year history of Henderson Little League. The first time ever they have a team going to Williamsport.
Utah on me, Utah on 3. 1, 2, 3, Utah!
talk to the star of the show, Nevada pitcher Nolan Gifford. When we return here in San Bernardino, walk-off victory for Nevada. The run rule, 10-0, and Henderson Little League is headed to Williamsport. The Mountain Region will be represented by Nevada and the Henderson Little League All-Stars in Williamsport, PA, starting August 16th. And a lap around the field here at Al Houghton Stadium as the banner waves for our 2023 Mountain Region champions. A no-hitter for Nolan Gifford as Nevada wins it 10-0. Eric Rothman, Kyle Peterson back here with you, San Bernardino, and it was a pretty dominant performance, both sides of the ball today for Nevada, KP.
Yeah, I guess it was. I mean, on the mound, Nolan Gifford was, well, he was what he's been this entire tournament. First start, he struck out 16, didn't walk anybody. Today, struck out 11, didn't walk anybody. I mean, it was the exact same approach, and then offensively, they really got to work. This is one of the cool things about Little League Baseball. You win your regional, you win the whole thing, you get the banner and take the victory lap. Chase Daly was ready to go, too. They were taking the picture. He didn't want to wait. He wanted to take the lap right away. This is Gifford today. And I mean, velocity in the mid-70s, but arm strength you see sometimes. Rarely at this age do you see arm strength combined with the ability to control the zone. And that's what Nolan did such a good job of today, such a good job of in his first start. Again, in those two starts, 27 strikeouts, and he didn't walk anybody. That usually works out pretty well.
We are getting Nolan Gifford set up with the microphone. There he is. Nolan, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can.
All right, Nolan, you're on with Eric and Kyle. First of all, congratulations.
Thanks.
And your dad was telling us this Little League program in Henderson has been around for 36 years. You guys are the first team to win a state championship. Now you're the first team from Henderson Little League to make it to Williamsport. How does that feel, and what's this week been like for you?
I mean, it's been crazy, dude. Like, it's a dream come true. Yeah.
All right, well, it's not done yet. I mean, that's the fun part. I don't know when school starts, but if it starts soon, you don't have to go for another full week. So
yeah.
You guys go to Williamsport next. Your buddies are behind you with their arms around each other.
Yep.
Just on the mound, we talked about the strikeouts. We didn't walk anybody in two starts. What's been the key to making you so good on the mound?
Just keeping my composure and just not thinking about it too much, kind of just going up and throwing strikes.
And how is this experience? Not only do you get to be with your buddies behind you, but how fun is it to experience this with your dad as your coach as well?
I mean, it's amazing, yeah. It's so fun. Like, it's unbelievable.
Dude, I'm like tearing up.
You want to say anything to your friends back home now that you got the big stage on ESPN?
Yeah, thanks for all the support, and let's go win in Williamsport now.
All right, Nolan, we look forward to seeing you there, and keep throwing strikes, buddy. You're a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, thank you.
Good work, bud.
All right, Nolan Gifford and the Henderson Little League All-Stars advancing to Williamsport. And KP, he's a guy, man of few words, but he does his speaking on the mound. That's a kid that can bring you to a championship in Williamsport with an arm like that.
I mean, that's what you need, right? I mean, to make a run at Williamsport, you need at least one arm, but one or two big-time arms, which clearly Gifford is, and then an offense that has the ability to score runs, and clearly they could do that too. It's a name that we're going to hear plenty more, I think, over the next few weeks. Nolan Gifford, again, 27 strikeouts, gave up one hit, didn't walk anybody in his two starts in the regional, and you would think that we're going to see him game one of the Little League World Series for this Henderson, Nevada team.
And getting the pat on the back from Dad Ryan as well. Here are the tickets punched. You see the international teams on your left. Meadville, Texas, Nolensville, Tennessee, New Albany, Ohio, Gray, Maine, Seattle, Washington, Fargo, North Dakota, Media, PA, and now Henderson, Nevada, punching its ticket to Williamsport. It's going to be a great week in Williamsport starting August 16th on ESPN. Partner, it's been fun calling these Mountain Region games with you all week long. And Nevada, a well-earned championship here in the Mountain Region. Coming up next on ESPN, we'll get you more Little League Baseball coverage. And we appreciate you joining us here all week long in San Bernardino. The second year the Mountain Region has been in existence. And for the first time, Henderson Little League has a team going to Williamsport, getting the dancing in and the money as well. Nevada wins it 10-0. For my partner, Kyle Peterson, I'm Eric Rothman saying so long from San Bernardino. Henderson, Nevada, your Mountain Region champions for 2023.